today on The Mixing Room.
Well, it's Friday night lights in this one-horse town. At least you know where your kids can be found. 'Cause there's no highway and no excess. Yeah, we live in small town Texas.
When the sun goes down, the faders go up, and a little studio nestled in the piney woods of East Texas starts pumping out some raw music. This is Live at the Mixing Room.
The Mixing Room Recording Studio is a state-of-the-art recording facility that has become a favorite tracking spot for many Texas acts. Operated by musician and engineer Jim Taylor, the Mixing Room provides a haven for Texas artists to return and perform their songs live while telling their stories. This week's guest is Texas country music artist Jared LoStracco.
Small town Texas came about as kind of a cross between the two communities I grew up in. And I grew up here in Nacogdoches, but I went to school just outside of town in a very small community called Cushing. And it's a very small town, one stoplight, one gas station, but full of a lot of really great people. And I wanted to write a song that was unapologetically Texan. And I was thinking about how the world had changed and how it really wasn't as safe as it used to be, or at least from my perspective. And when I brought it into the studio, I don't know if you remember this, but I brought in a bunch of songs for that first album back after my hiatus from music. And I said, I don't know if this one should even be considered because it may be too tongue-in-cheek or kind of too much of a joke. And you said, oh, no. After I played it for you, you said, no, this needs to go on the album. And that convinced me, and that's how it got there. Windows down and the radio up, cruising the back roads in a beat-up truck. Yeah, just singing along to favorite songs. Four-wheel drives take us where we need to go. Gun racks in the back windows. We say our prayers and we're Lone Star strong. Well, it's Friday night lights in this one-horse town. At least you know where your kids can be found. 'Cause there's no highway and no excess. Yeah, we live in small town Texas. It's 2 weeks on and 1 week off. We like to hunt, but we don't play golf. We don't care about that Wall Street stuff. The economy's good, or maybe it's bad. We're so poor that all we ever had is what Mom and Daddy gave us, and it was always enough. Well, it's Friday night lights in this one-horse town. At least you know where your kids can be found. 'Cause there's no highway and no excess. Yeah, we live in small town Texas. Sunday morning we're in our pews. We thank the good Lord, we give him what's due. Mama taught us all the words to those old gospel songs. We've got parades on Veterans Day. Waving the flag is just our way.
know the difference between right and wrong. Well, it's Friday night lights in this one-horse town. At least you know where your kids can be found. 'Cause there's no highway and no excess. Yeah, we're living in small town Texas. We're heading down to our favorite fishing hole. I've got the beer and it sure is cold. Where we're going, you can't drive a Lexus. Yeah, we're living in small town Texas. We're all living in small town Texas.
The Ghost of John Paul Jones came from my experience at the Naval Academy while I was in college. It's a very interesting place to go to school because I think, unlike other institutions of higher education, we had a lot of strict rules and a lot of focus on what came next. We were going to be naval officers or Marine Corps officers. And because of all the strict rules and the discipline, it seemed like we were always in a hurry to get to graduation or a hurry to be the next year older. You know, instead of being freshmen, we wanted to be sophomores or juniors or seniors so that we could have more freedom. And one of the big historical artifacts that's there is underneath the chapel at the Naval Academy is the crypt that holds the remains of John Paul Jones, who is the father of the American Navy. He is the one that is credited with really defining our naval presence when we were fighting for our freedom from England, and he's the reason that we didn't get overtaken by the English Armada. So I thought about how inspiring his story was and how neat that was. We really took that for granted while we were there. But looking back, that's such a great thing. And I thought, well, what were we running from that we were so in a hurry to graduate or so in a hurry to go out? Because we did end up losing quite a few of our classmates, like to the global war on terrorism. And I thought it would be interesting to give a perspective that we were running from something, running from that ghost of John Paul Jones. And that's how I got the story.
Up in the morning with the rising sun, trying to get everything done, hoping we can make it all just right, praying we can make it till tonight. No one understands no one at all, unless they tread these hallowed halls. Shut the door now, no one can see, unless it's one of three. Freedom always comes with a cost. Remember them all, especially the lost. We were in a hurry to be gone, just running from the ghost of John Paul Jones. On the seawall overlooking the bay, the future feels so far away. Put the pedal down, never looking back, hoping we can keep our wheels on track. Freedom always comes with a cost. Remember them all, especially the lost. hurry to be gone, just running from the ghost of John Paul Jones. Names engraved on granite blocks. Gotta wonder when it's gonna stop. Nobody knows, but time will tell. If we're gonna get to heaven, gotta fight like hell. Freedom always comes with a cost. Remember them all, especially the lost. We were in a hurry to be gone, just running from the ghost of John Paul Jones. Times have come and now they fade, singing blue and gold and amazing grace. Memories come but now they're gone. We're just running from the ghost of John Paul Jones. We're still running from the ghost of John Paul Jones.
A Sweet Surrender is an interesting one. When I was in college at the Naval Academy, there was this little saying that there was a 1% club. 1% of the guys or gals who came in with a significant other from high school, they came in as freshmen with a significant other, would actually marry that significant other. Otherwise, they would get Dear John, Dear Jane letters or emails. We couldn't get emails in the beginning because of the indoctrination we were going through. So sometimes it was a letter still. But this one guy, Brian, told me about how he had used all his graduation money and he and his girlfriend had gone on this post-graduation vacation to California, and he was from the Midwest. And then not long after he tells me that story, he gets a breakup letter. And I just thought to myself, wow, that was a waste of money. But then also from the kind of hopeless romantic side, it was a fun experience. And he had memories from that and learned lessons. We all grow. And that's how Sweet Surrender came about.
She came up to me on a summer's day, said it's time to run away. Let's head out somewhere on the West Coast. That sparkle was in her eyes, it made my chest fall and rise. Oh, I could never tell her no. We jumped into my pickup truck, said it's always full of junk. We head off into the sunset. She slid over close to me. She was wearing those cut-off jeans. Oh, I think they were the same as when we met. Whoa, sweet surrender. If only I knew then what I know now. Whoa, sweet surrender. Wouldn't change a thing if I knew how. Even if I knew how. Got a room out on the coast. It was like we were seeing ghosts, living in someone else's dream. spent time out in the sand. We were always holding hands. You know she was everything to me. Whoa, sweet surrender. If only I knew then what I know now. Whoa, sweet surrender. Wouldn't change a thing if I knew how. Even if I knew how. Turns out it was like a summer's day. Real life wasn't far away, but I didn't know until the fall. Turns out people gotta go, and even when you wanna know, well, there ain't no reason after all. Whoa, sweet surrender. If only I knew then what I know now. Whoa, sweet surrender. Wouldn't change a thing if I knew how. Even if I knew how. Whoa, sweet surrender. Wouldn't change a thing if I knew how. Even if I knew how.
Yeah, Sometimes She's Gone is the oldest song on the album. I actually wrote that back in 04 and recorded it on an album in 05 that you actually produced. But I wanted to re-record it on my Red Dirt Troubadour album that we did a few years ago to kind of capture the change in my music that had happened since that original album. And it really embodies the youthful relationship. And in this particular time, I reflected on something that was said to me by my best friend in high school. A girl broke up with me. I think it was the first time I'd ever been broken up with. And he's like, "Oh man, don't worry. The winner doesn't always get the girl. She just doesn't know it yet." And that I thought was a really good line. And so I took that and I ran with it. The winner doesn't always get the girl. Sometimes she's gone.
I remember sitting on my front porch swing, all just mending my broken wings. Sometimes you fall when you're learning to fly. I remember when my parents said, "You can do anything you want to, and just keep your eyes up, son, and keep moving on." Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. What goes around comes round again. You've just gotta wrap up everything you've got and hold on, 'cause the winner doesn't always get the girl. Sometimes she's gone. was just you and me, riding around this little town. Oh, but now you're gone. And it's been a long time now, and you're finally coming around. But baby, I gotta tell you, I'm moving on. 'Cause sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. What goes around comes round again. You've just gotta wrap up everything you've got and hold on. 'Cause the winter doesn't always get a girl. Sometimes she's gone. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. What goes around comes round again. You just gotta wrap up everything you've got and hold on. 'Cause the winter doesn't always get the girl. Sometimes she's gone. Sometimes she's gone.
What's a funny story from your career that you have that I could use?
So I've got one, and it's really funny. It happens to every musician that somebody gets drunk and something funny happens. But this particular night, this young lady walks up to me, and she has really tied one on. I mean, she is slurring her speech and everything else, and she's just telling me how great I was. And here I am, and my wife right beside me, her girlfriend, soon to be wife, and we're wrapping up cables and putting them in the bag, and I'm saying thank you so much. And she's just like, maybe we could hang out sometime. And I mean, my girlfriend is literally standing right beside me, and she's kind of smiling at me because we can tell this poor thing, she doesn't mean anything bad by it. She is really intoxicated. And her, obviously her friend, who's the DD that night, who's very sober, runs up right then. It's like, I am so sorry. We really have to go, whatever the young lady's name was. And she's apologizing to us. And the young lady is oblivious. She's just going, I just want to hear you play guitar more and sing more. And it's really funny. And so we chuckle because it was harmless. But right behind the stage are big, huge windows out to the street. And a couple minutes later, as I'm wrapping a cable, my wife and I look up, and she's just staring in the window, and she puts a hand up against the glass, like as if I'm in prison and on the other side of that phone, and just runs it down the glass. And it was the creepiest yet funniest thing I had ever seen up to that point.